can't shoot fireballs.
Yeah, you're not getting. It's all one-handed.
Oh, that was sick. Hi everyone, I'm Gemma and Nguyen. I am an expert in sport karate. I'm a 7-time world champion, as well as a stunt performer and an action actress.
I'm Jeremy Marinas. I'm currently a working stuntman / action director. I've worked on a lot of things like Ninja Turtles, web series of Mortal Kombat. I did John Wick 4.
Today we are watching
Tekken
8. Let me see your manager.
Every one of Paul's kicks with his heavy boots makes sense that he's like flexing the toes. Like he wants to use his boots. Especially getting kicked by the sole of those, like the hardwood, it sucks. I mean, he's always been like a mixture of a street ball American karate. He looks like just American karate and a little bit of wrestling. You know, in the old games, Paul had this super like chambered, perfect posture, like kibidachi, like horse stance with a reverse punch. Now he's a little hunched and a little tired. I don't know if they built that into the character. That I don't understand. When they want to do the kick follow through sometimes, and they have him like his foot's over there, but his body's over there. It's like if you're gonna pull through your kick, you're gonna swing your hip through the kick, right? Yeah, that jump side kick is a little rough. I don't know if this is mocap, but there needs to be some hip introduction
his feet were
into
like,
that.
The toes were up like this.
Yeah.
Oh, you see that sweep? Oh, let's skip front though.
He's so classic, just like his swag and his style.
Oh, right in the crotch.
Yeah. What I like about Tekken is they've always had a swag to every one of their characters. So everybody was traditional in their arts, but always had some kind of a street brawler vibe to their karate too. I really enjoy that because even though it's fantastical, it shows a little bit more of how a karate expert would, actually try these moves in real life. A little bit of a slant and dropping the weight in certain techniques instead of like just doing forms. There's a lot of wushu, and obviously wushu is a derivative from kung fu, so there's a lot of kung fu aspects in there. I like her because she's dope. She's a super clean Chinese representation of martial arts.
A lot of female video game characters I find do a lot of wushu.
Yeah.
Because they can't, especially in between characters when they're fighting each other, it's nice to have that contrast between brute force, which a lot of guys have, and then the flowy, kind of more feminine, graceful. It looks so cool. Like the way when she's fighting, it definitely adds to that.
Yeah.
Superhero pose.
Floppy foot. Technically, the floppy foot isn't incorrect because in Muay Thai they do it as well, but they're purposely flexing their foot, so they make their shins harder by adding tension in the shin. It's a harder weapon when you actually kick with foot flexed as opposed to pointing. You don't necessarily need your whole shin, especially if all you do is kick a bag.
Well, Taekwondo, you're hitting with this part of your foot or your heel, not your shin. So video games are so busy these days.
It's like every video game has been directed by Michael Bay. Yeah, he looks so different now. It's like Gen Z Eddy. I like the hair though. Capoeira gets a bad rap for real fighting because, first of all, have you ever been kicked by a real capoeista? They put their whole body into every kick. The reason they put their hands on the floor is because they're whipping their whole weight downwards into the ground. But when you spar with a real capoeista, you don't want to get hit by that. And I think they get a bad rap because all people know capoeira for is jumping and spinning and all the cool stuff.
It's like dancing kind of almost,
built in prisons because they weren't allowed to fight, so they had to hide it in a dance. But most capoeistas I meet are some of the strongest human beings I've ever met. That's a mukjong.
Wooden dummy. Huh?
Mukjong.
Oh.
Yeah, he's got kind of a conventional stance. I mean, maybe the angle is weird, but he's not in that kind of Wing Chun pose. They do a lot of push hands techniques. That's usually made for off balancing, but it's not.
You can't shoot fireballs.
Yeah, you're not getting to shoot fireballs. Obviously, that's not realistic. But a lot of times you'll just offset your opponent. You're gonna use a lot of those push techniques for off balancing your opponent, but it's not used as an impact. I feel like they use the same mocap front kick in all the games, and it's been there forever. Just
when I pretend to do bad karate, that's what I do. Woo! She has like a karate gi, so it's nice to see a chick not have like wushu movements.
It's just really random. It looked like they just didn't know what to do with her, so they just gave her a bunch of random mixtures of martial arts.
Well, between like Taekwondo and karate, they're both hard styles, so there is some blend there.
Like it though.
This
is super
is
dope.
cool, yeah. I really like her poses. I wish I could see more sticky kicks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just something that like locks out and doesn't just immediately rechamber. Oh, that was finally a sticky kick.
Yeah. He's like as classic as Bruce Lee now. Yeah, I think they did a really good job embodying the Bruce Lee-ness in martial law. Like throughout the years, you're always like,
ooh, that was a good psychic.
that was their way of getting Bruce Lee in a video game for sure. If we couldn't figure out by 2024 how to beat up a Bruce Lee style fighter or Bruce Lee, or if there's nobody on earth right now that could beat up Bruce Lee, then we've failed as a martial arts community. Martial arts has evolved so much. Credited to Bruce Lee for opening, martial artists as artists. He is the GOAT, but I feel like if he showed up right now, even Max Holloway would probably beat him up.
Oh, gun fu. Okay. I don't know. What style would you say it is?
I don't know.
Like she's doing
everything. That's what I'm saying. I feel like they're all just now mutations of all the styles put together. Although it looks cool, there's no continuity within the styles. I guess you could say that's how martial arts has been evolving lately.
You have to know a lot of different styles that you can blend them all. Did you see that kick? It was like a reverse donkey kick or something. It was really interesting.
It's more of like a raising back mule kick, but then they hooked it weird, like sassy horse kick. I don't know why you would squat that low for a backhand to reverse up. I think at this point they've lost all practicality and they're just whatever looks cool, which I can appreciate. That's actually what Gemma used to look like in the US Open.
I did have short, like red hair.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to some good kicks.
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh.
I like the spinning axe.
Yeah.
That was basically a jackknife.
I was just gonna say.
Is when you jump off of one leg and you basically do like a tornado kick, but then you land on that leg, turning it into a 540 and adding another hook kick at the end. So it's two kicks, 1, 2.
But if you're really good, you do both kicks in the air before you land.
For the most part, they nailed the Taekwondo style within, and a little bit of Tang Soo Do as well, which is also Korean.
Cool. Oh, God, I love seeing good kicks. What was that?
That was weird.
I know. I was expecting a side kick and his leg went like this. Because normally when you have like a sliding step, you want to use that momentum to continue it with a kick to push through. So it's like you're moving forward and just. Oh, look at those striations. That's cool.
He moves really well for a guy that jacked.
I like he just did the splits too.
Yeah.
It's hard for people who are like hella muscular to be flexible.
Yeah, or scratch their back. So he's very obviously kung fu driven style. It's very traditional looking. There's a lot of, except for that stuff, very video game made up, like kicking upwards off of your hands. If you're up close, you can just shoulder check somebody. A lot of times if you're managing space in an actual fight, sometimes you just need it, like boxers would use it to gain space for an uppercut if you're up close. So shoulder pushes are super practical. And then if you're a linebacker, you just run into somebody like that and they usually just disintegrate. Sick.
Interesting. Oh, that weird front kick.
It just looks like a mix of a bunch of random styles. I can't really pinpoint the one style that he's supposed to be.
I know. He's doing movements like this and it looks very kung fu, but then he's...
That was like a really bad, like amateur 540.
I was just...
Like whoever did the mocap 540 for this character, shame, shame.
Usually your kick is at least supposed to be above your waist, but he's like kicking it like waist level, which usually is a sign of a noob. I identify. I relate.
Nice wheel arms.
Cool. See, at least this looks more authentic
Yeah.
to a style, one style, traditionally.
Yeah, she's pretty consistent.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a form of Chinese martial arts, part of Kung Fu, but I couldn't pinpoint exactly which style because I'm not a big Kung Fu artist.
So for a broad term, you could just say Wushu, Chinese
Yeah.
martial arts. Cool. Oh, that was sick.
It is possible to hit somebody bigger than you to make them stumble back. You just have to hit them at the right time in the right spot with the right weapon.
The spot is vital.
Yeah, like if you were Gemma size punching somebody as big as Randy Couture in the stomach, you probably won't stumble
Wouldn't even
back.
flinch. But in his family jewels, or like solar plex, or like you were saying earlier, if you get a kick in the right angle,
Yeah.
hit somebody in the chin, they're out.
Yeah. Okay, well, normally Japanese katana practitioners will not hold a sword with one hand, so let's see. It's all one-handed, so not super traditional.
And I doubt they helicopter it too.
Yeah, well, he's a robot. I think his hand's actually spinning.
Oh.
Yeah, not very traditional whatsoever, but super sick.
Oh, dang.
See? He didn't even change his grip. And usually if he was like a samurai, he would have it holstered on his back. But now it's on his hip. Does he have two?
He's a robot. I'm sure he has slots
He has
everywhere.
two, right? Yeah. Super impractical, not traditional whatsoever, but I dig his swag.
I like the mechanics where it's like how a robot really would, would fight.
Yeah.
You could dislocate your joints and do all kinds of crazy cool stuff.
Yeah.
I'm Gemma Nguyen,
And I'm Jeremy Marinas.
and that's a wrap for Tekken 8. Thank you so much for watching, guys.
We'll